To start with the kale, we're going to pick the kale from the stem. The stems are not super edible, so we're going to gently pull the leaves away from the stem. Once we have a good pile, we can start to cut. We want to cut roughly 1/4 inch thick, 1/4 to 1/3 inch thick. That's going to make it the most edible type of leaf or type of cut for what we do. Then we're going to add it to a large container and start filling it with cold water so that we can wash it and remove any dirt, debris, or anything else that might be mixed in with the kale or lettuce. We want to make sure there's enough water that we can easily move the kale or lettuce around so that we can wash off anything that's on it and it can fall to the bottom.
So it's super important too that we're going to swish it around a little bit, make sure we're getting anything removed from the lettuce. And then we always want to be lifting it from the top. We don't want to dump it in because then we're essentially just dumping all that stuff we washed off right back on top. This is also a good chance to kind of re-inspect, be like, are there any pieces that don't look right? And then I will do the first batch. I'm going to pull that first amount that comes out, always brings with it a lot of water. Always there's going to be some in the bottom. So I'll just dump that. I'll pull it off and dump that and give this a shake. To get at least a lot of the loose water out. Otherwise that water just sits in the thing anyway and just sloshes around with it. And it would kind of defeat the purpose of drying it. And then I like to get it kind of into the corner of the sink so that I can get a real good drip. If you give it like 3 really good spins, and then it should be like that, right? It's like all pushed out to the side. Again, you're going to see water in the bottom. We'll dump that out. And then I will give it a shake. Loosen it back up. Because what happens on that first spin, all that lettuce gets pushed into the side, and some water still gets trapped in there. So we loosen it up one more time, and then give it one more. And then we should have, and this will be our finished, ready to go. Nice. There's still going to be some residual water on there, but it's going to be really light, and it's going to dry out.
We follow the same process for the romaine. We remove first any leaves or parts of leaves that are not looking good. If there's any brown bits or broken bits, we want to make sure to get rid of those before we start to cut the lettuce. Then we are going to just trim the top off. The top has some of the bitter green parts we don't want. And then we're going to cut it in 1-inch strips across. We're going to cut all the way down until we hit the core. And you can see the core we're going to just peel out. We can peel out the lettuce around it and use that as well. We want to use as much as we can. We follow the same steps as we would for washing kale. And then to blend, we go 60% romaine, 40% kale. Or for the mixies, it's 50% romaine, 50% mixed greens. To mix the lettuce, we want to use gloves and mix it really, really well. Pulling from the bottom, making sure it's totally blended.